Sound there of the Jackson 5. Just a reminder to give love for Christmas Day. Totally, we are giving you some Christmas songs, a little chair, inside engaged later to uh, today. So we ask that you stick around because guess what? We got some more for you. Now it's time for our main discussion. And so, have you ever said to yourself, I want to travel the world, but where do I start? Because I need some money to do that, right? Well, believe it or not, simply by having the desire to travel and asking questions, you are already off to a great start. So, today we'll be asking a lot of those questions to someone who may just have the answers we're looking for. Let's see. So here with us today is Romain Wells, the first Jamaican to travel the world. Really, now, he'll be taking us on a world tour and providing us with some travel tips that we can use for the holiday season. Hey, Romain, how you do? Welcome. Hope you're good, Romain. Yes, you hearing me loud and clear? He's sort of sorted himself out, right? Yeah, man. Right. Romain is not hearing. How come?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Oh, he can't. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with Romain because I can hear Romain. Um, so let me see what's going on here, Romain. Give me one sec. That's there. That's there. Everything is here. So why can't Romain hear me? Right. um, yeah. All right. So let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, yeah, man, we're sorting things out to get Romain on. Still can't hear Romain? No? He can't? All right, give me 1 second. All right.
Here's an invitation for churches and community organizations. If you're hosting an event which offers free admission, tell us about it and we'll get the word out in Love FM's bulletin board. Simply email your information to bulletinboard at love101.org. Love FM's bulletin board for church and community events with free admission and certain fundraising events. Conditions apply. Listen to Bulletin Board on Love 101 Saturdays at 4:55 p.m. Love FM's Bulletin Board is on your family station, Love 101.
The time by grace. Taste that moves you is
6 o'clock, folks, on the family station, Love 101. So Romain is back. I think he can hear me now. We good, Romain? We're good?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Right. So we're good. Good to have you. So, Romain, you've traveled the world extensively.
Yes.
Um, Sort of give us an idea as to when you realize that, boy, I want to travel the world. Talk to us.
Well, once I moved to US, I had a job in the airline industry, and that enabled me to travel the world. So I said, okay, when I use this benefit to travel the world. So I started travel slowly, start with birthday trip, family trip, and then eventually that appetite grow larger and larger for wonder places and all these places. So eventually just traveling here and there eventually just sort of had up, and then I was like, okay,
Mhm.
why not go for more countries? So that's how it started out.
So, you started what in 2007 when you migrated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first ever flight.
Ah, and, so,
Yes.
and so where did you migrate to?
San Francisco,
San Francisco. And so you work for
California.
an airline company in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And so, in terms of the experience, what are we talking about? What's that like?
Ah, it's fun. It's tough. I mean, you're working in the element outside when it's cold, when it's hot, when it's raining. But it's a fun job. I mean, you don't get every day to guide in that aircraft to the gate, with two engines just roaring so loud in your ears. But it's fun. It's
It's
pretty
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About how many countries have you visited so far?
I've finished visiting every country. I've been to all of them,
Every.
all 195 UN countries.
So you've literally gone around the world. Ah,
Yes. Well,
so
around the world 3 times, like physically navigating around the world 3 times. But to every country, yes, I've been there. I think my last country was in September 18 this year, Antigua
mm,
and Barbados, Barbuda.
so 195 countries.
Hmm.
Um, and well, I know for some countries there are some restrictions in terms of visa and the process. Um,
Yeah.
uh, how did that go?
Yes, you have to do your research, and when your research can't do enough, you have to find fixers. Fixers are like local contacts that can do the visa process and guide you around these difficult countries. So yeah, it's good to have contacts like friends who have been there before and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
most of that helped me. And there's a community called EPS on Facebook. It's where a large group of travelers, you know, is a club of. So
Mm,
they share their information.
right. Were you doing a lot of travels during the pandemic?
Yes, I
Mm.
didn't stop traveling. But trust me, traveling during the pandemic was the most challenging traveling time ever, ever.
How so?
Yeah.
Talk to us, because I mean, how were you able to manage to sort of pull off travels during the pandemic? Because I mean, several countries had restrictions and lockdowns.
Yes.
So how were you able to sort of navigate through all of that?
So you have to do your research, and you have to make sure research is on point because most countries have different these COVID requirements, like 72 hours, 24 hours on arrival, and then
Mm,
when you get there, you have to do either quarantine or another test on arrival. So you have to know all these stuff before you even step out of your country or get
mm,
on the plane because all these stuff can make you be denied boarding.
right, right.
So you have to know your research. What's the country requirement to get in there.
Mm. So out of the 195 countries now,
Uh-huh,
that you've traveled to, of course,
uh-huh.
which country hits the top of your list? Which stands out the most?
I will always say Brazil.
Ah, why Brazil?
Oh my God, Brazil is so vibesy, man. It's like Jamaica. We're full of vibes and rhythm, and the people is so nice. The food, the atmosphere. Yeah, Brazil is just amazing country.
So would you say Brazil is the country that you'd never ever get tired of traveling to?
Yes, I've been there at least 5 times already.
Mm. What's something about apart from the excitement and the buzz? Perhaps like I don't know if it's a dish or a monument. What's it that stands out for you in Brazil? That's something that we can all remember.
So Brazil have everything for me, I think, because they have like wonders, the Amazon, the
Mhm.
tribes, the people, the food. I mean, it's a country that's full of so much thing to explore. So I could never get tired of Brazil. And I've been to the Carnival, which is the largest in the world, and it's
Mhm.
just fascinating. Same with New Year's Eve. There's like 3 million people on the beach. I mean, where else in the world do you see this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Talk to us about the food. I'm particularly interested to know about the food.
Oh yeah, the food is really amazing. So it was kind of funny that they actually add cheese in the rice.
Oh.
And throughout the different states you go to, they have different dishes. But the food
Mhm.
in Brazil is really cool. It's really amazing and delicious.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
people warm and friendly.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. People are very nice there.
Yeah.
And I love the Rio accent.
You can do it. Let me hear it. Can you
I can't really, I can't say it, but I love it. They kind of like say "ja," "sí," something like that. But it's really cool.
It's really
It's
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
Okay. So Brazil is at the top of your list. Number two, what's
Yes.
number two for you?
Ethiopia. Ethiopia is like our ancestral land. So yeah, it's just so much sentiment to it.
Mm. Talk to us about your journey to that country.
Yeah, so it was like, making that we call it no, that pilgrimage to the motherland. So once I got there, I think I went outside and kissed the ground. I
Kiss,
was so excited.
kiss the what?
I kissed the ground.
Oh, the ground. Yes.
Yes, because it's so touching to finally being to like. Well, I've been to Egypt my first time to Africa, but it doesn't feel like Africa. So when I
Mhm.
got to Ethiopia, it's like, okay, this feel like the spot that Bob Marley been talking about, the most African, not African, the Rastafarian been talking about. So it feels like that connection to finally reach that land. So
Yeah.
yeah, it feels really sentimental when I got there.
Mm. And the food. Let's talk about the food
The
because
food,
it's different.
yes, it's different. So the Ethiopian food is completely different than most other dishes. So they heat the meal on a bread, and they have like they eat mostly beef or goat, and sometimes it's done raw. Like the beef is just minced to like small pieces and they eat it raw. But the
Mm.
dishes there is really delicious too.
All right. So let's quickly
Yeah.
go to the other three because I'm trying to get the top five. So Brazil, Ethiopia. What's number three?
I was throw in Yemen in Middle East.
Yeah, man. Okay. What's four?
Yemen is like a gem that most people haven't explored yet, and this place is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But so during my time in Yemen, I was traveling around the Hadramaut region, and I'm seeing these mud houses like castle on the hillside, like
Mm.
like old city on the hillside, and it's just fascinating.
Mm.
And it's a country I could never get enough of because it's dangerous still and it's hard to get to. So the
Mm.
moment you see all these beautiful places, it's like, wow, this place really existed.
Yeah.
And there's this place I really want to get to, but it's so dangerous. Is Sana.
Mm. Where do we find Sana?
I can't pinpoint exactly where in the country it is, but it's one of those regions in Yemen where the houses is just beautiful.
Mm.
If you have a chance, look it up. It's Sanaa.
Sana. Great.
Sana.
So Brazil, Ethiopia, Yemen,
Yemen. Yeah.
Yemen. What's the other one? What's number four?
Oh, wow. I would say Kiribati.
Mm. Why?
Why? It's like Tahiti in the Pacific. It's probably one of the least visited country also because a lot of people I wouldn't say can't get there. It's just difficult to get to Kiribati.
Mm.
Because in the middle of the Pacific, it doesn't have like many flights per week. It's like 2 flights a week, maybe 3 flights a week. So it's one of those challenging countries to get to. But once you get there, man, it's just beautiful, beautiful.
You know, and,
Yeah,
and
it's one of the first places I actually ate coconut with the grown coconut. So the coconut is growing. They
yeah.
actually grow it to eat it. So when they eat it, it's like a sponge inside. But
Mm.
it's a lot of kind of I say oil or milk. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. But yeah, it's one of the first places I had that.
I gather that's the process before it gets to dry coconut. You ever had dry coconut?
Of course, I grew up in
Yeah.
Jamaica. I had dry coconut. I
Oh,
love it with sugar.
right. That's really nice. Uh,
Yeah.
quickly, number five. What's number five for you?
Number five, I would say
You with the coconut wine and stuff like that. You know that, right?
I would say I'd throw in Tahiti. Tahiti is beautiful.
Okay. Tell us why.
Tahiti is the dreamland of most people, our dream vacation. It's just a place that when you go there, it's like, wow, this place is just the water is just clear. It's just something it's looking like out of a movie. It's
Mm.
just really beautiful.
All right. Well, folks, we're
Yeah.
having a quick chat with Romain. He has traveled extensively to 195 countries. That's every single country in the world. In the opening, I said, it's a dream for all of us, right? But it can be quite expensive, right? And so, was it expensive for you, Romain?
Sure, traveling is not cheap, but you got to figure out your way to travel on a budget. So when I started traveling out, I didn't like. Okay, so to begin with, I learned about this thing called hostel, which costs a fraction of a normal hotel. So like you could get a bed for like $10 a night, which is really economical for most people traveling. So instead of you staying in big, expensive hotels, which
Five
take
star.
most of your costs, I
Right.
sleep in hostel or bed and breakfast or cheap as possible.
Hmm.
So that will reduce I mean, most of your price in
Right.
your trip.
Right. And
So
still have
yeah,
money to
for
enjoy.
tours and food and other stuff like that.
Right.
And also for me, I work for a airline company, so most of my flights are discounted too.
Right. And so I gather you've also traveled to all 21 wonders of the world.
Yes, I
Uh,
have.
well, talk to us a little bit about that and what the experience was like.
So it was a challenge actually. So, I said, okay, I went to the first seven wonders. I'm like, okay, there was more. I didn't know that. So I said, okay, let me finish all of them. So I went and see all of them. So
Ah.
yeah, that was a pretty cool challenge I did.
So we've talked about the festivities and the buzz and the fun of it,
Uh-huh.
but in terms of traveling being a little difficult, what would you say to the listeners? How difficult can it be, or how difficult was it for you, Romain?
Yeah, for me, it's I work a lot of hours
Mm.
because I don't get sponsor or having a sponsor, so most of my trip is totally what I work. So I work a lot of overtime, 6, 7 days nonstop working, 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Then I take off 2, 3 weeks to travel. But
Right,
yeah, I work very hard to travel.
nice. And I know now it's a busy season for people. We just had Thanksgiving, so quite a number of people
Yes.
were traveling. The Christmas season is coming up, so people will be traveling whether they're coming home and they're leaving to go spend some time with their family members.
Yeah.
What are some tips you want to share with our listeners who may have plans for the season, and how do we sort of navigate and plan for this season?
Yeah, so I say check on your flight details, make sure everything is up to date because, things change last minute or whatever. The
Mhm.
weather can also influence your flight, so check on all this stuff. Also, get to the airport early
I know.
because remember, you're not the only person traveling, so give
Yeah.
yourself ample amount of time to get to the airport
Mhm.
because, if
And
you're
go
not,
through
if you,
security, which can be very detailed.
yeah, and plus if you don't have TSA like in the US, give yourself that extra time because I mean I've seen lines sometime outside the airport.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's really long, so give yourself that extra time. If you flight leave at 8 o'clock, try to be there like maybe 5 o'clock in the evening.
yeah,
You
just to be
know,
sure.
yeah, just to be sure.
Yeah. And perhaps, well, I don't know if there are deals going on now. It's quite busy, so I'm not sure if the airlines are giving away any special for the holidays. So
Uh-huh.
perhaps folks can look out for that as well in terms of flight deals and accommodation. I don't know.
Yeah, there's always that stuff going on, so you just have to keep your eyes open for deals. Because Black Friday, I mean, hotels, airlines, everybody's trying to get more details to attract customers. So look out for those stuff.
Mhm. All
Yeah.
right. And so you've gone to 195. Is there anything else on your bucket list, Remain? Anything
Oh
else you want
yes,
to achieve?
Mars next. Mars or
Oh,
space.
right. You're funny. Uh,
No, travel never stop, man. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. I mean, you could take a lifetime. Like right now, I finished this goal. I have a next two goals lined up. So I
mm,
want to see all the tribes in the world, which is gonna be fascinating. The tribes and festival. And Africa has tons of festivals I want to see. So yeah, I am excited about that for next year.
so you would do it all over again, but on a perhaps on a different you take a different approach.
Yes,
So
yes. So
yeah.
no, I'm not visiting every country. No, I'm having different mission when I
Mm,
visit every country.
great. Nice. So
Yeah.
if folks want to touch base with you and get sort of I don't tips and how to go about traveling, how can they reach you, Remain?
So most of my I will have Instagram, which I pay more attention to right now,
Hmm.
and I have a YouTube, but it's not really set up properly. But I have Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. For Instagram and Facebook is traveling the world with Romain with one L in
Ah,
traveling.
to travel the world,
Yeah,
Remain.
yeah. It's the same with the Instagram and the Facebook.
So you post pics and reels and do all them crazy things?
Yes,
Oh, nice.
most on the IG. Yeah,
That's the IG. Yeah, that goes viral. So no TikTok?
I actually do have TikTok.
I mean,
Yeah, I think it's traveling with Ro. It's
okay.
the TikTok. Yeah.
I gather that goes viral in seconds. And with your content, folks would appreciate that.
Well, nothing viral yet, but hopefully next year when I start to do proper,
Yeah.
content creating stuff. Yeah.
Good. So allow us to experience the world from your lens.
Yes, yes, yes. But some good stuff is on Instagram. I think that's where I put most of my focus,
Great. I'll check it
actually.
out. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Romain, for stopping by and having a quick chat with us this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Great. All the best to your family for the season. Great.
Thanks. Same to you too.
So that's Romain, folks. Quick chat inside, Engage this evening. Yeah, Romain has traveled extensively, gone to 195 countries. I love to do that, wouldn't you?
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
it's quite an expensive venture, but saving
But I mean,
is what you need to
nothing's
do.
impossible, right?
Nothing is impossible. No, it's
Right.
not. I see Romain smiling, but I guess, I mean, something that I definitely try. I think I'm a daredevil, so jumping off and doing all sort of crazy things. Perhaps you only live once, so enjoy it while you can. Thank you. Gonna take a break, folks, and come back with a much more inside Engage. We got some Christmas songs coming your way. Yeah, and so that's right up my street. So let's take care of little business and come back with much more right here on the family station. Love 101. No, man, I'm just sitting in this week for your host, right?
This Christmas, get prizes galore shopping in a Berger Wonderland. The time by Berger for lasting beauty and protection is
6:18, folks, on the family station. Love 101.
Auto Parts for all your Honda Ridgeline parts in Kingston. You may contact us at 876 821 5233